She-Hulk, Attorney-at-Law, Episode 2, titled Superhuman Law. And now this episode is a lot better episode than Episode 1. Episode 1, I enjoyed it. I like it. It was solid. But you kind of felt like this is the groundwork. Like, they're just, like, going through the origin story, and then Episode 2 is when things are going to pick up. And it picks up. Like, I was more invested with Jennifer in this episode than I was last week. I found the story of this episode interesting and engaging. Like the plot of this episode is that Jennifer Walters last week went full on She-Hulk when Titania burst into a courtroom and saved the entire courtroom. Now, the issue of that is she becomes famous. Everyone has opinions on her. Everybody's cheering, She-Hulk, She-Hulk, She-Hulk. It sounds all good. Like, she is, like, dreading, like, oh my god, everybody thinks I'm a superhero. Like, oh no. Like, but the bigger punch in the gut is no one wants to hire her. It feels very, like, comic book Marvel, where you think, oh, it'd be cool to have a superhero in our law firm. Wouldn't that be great? Someone with superhuman beings? But in reality, it wouldn't, because there's a risk that the jury will always have a bias against you. That the jury might not like you. That it might be too much of a show. Look, it's She-Hulk as a lawyer. Like, it's the classic thing of, we want to be taken seriously, and as much you are taking it seriously, there's a point of view that you're a gimmick. That, look, here comes She-Hulk, here's Jennifer Walters, even though that's not the case. And you can tell her visual boss just feels so hateful, and so like, she did everything right, but because she hulked out, he had to let her go. And it's like, and you just can feel the pain that she has. She's kind of having that sense of not well to live, but kind of like, maybe I need to find a different job. Maybe this burden's too much. Meanwhile, in this episode is when she enters into a superhuman law firm, and the gimmick of She-Hulk is the reason they're hiring her. Like, she can't be Jennifer in the building. She can only be She-Hulk. And at the beginning, she's like nervous. Everybody's looking at her. The look at her, she's this, she's that, is giving her work in this situation. And with the breaking the fourth wall, and I did enjoy this breaking the fourth wall a lot better than episode 1. Episode 1 just felt like, oh yeah, we'll have this moment here. This one, I kind of like. It's a sense of her just like saying her thoughts, like what she's thinking right now, onto us, and she's like, oh my god, they're all looking at me. This is the reason I'm here. It's not because I'm a great lawyer. It's just because I turned green and is 9 feet tall. Like, who would win, Lady or She-Hulk? You pick. Anyway, and you can feel that anxiousness, her thoughts, her mind process. And then when it comes out that she is going to, and it's a leave the building, you got a job or you don't have a job if you do or do not take this case. And she needs to take the case of Blonsky, Abomination, who, of course, the last time we saw him was, the last time we saw him was in Shang-Chi. But technically, if you really think about it, the last fully time that we saw him was in 2008, in The Incredible Hulk. And she's saying to her new boss that, I can't take this job. I can't take this new client. Because Blonsky, Abomination, tried to kill my cousin. He's afflicted of interest. And the boss is like, yeah, he asked for you. and you have that affliction of like, does she take it? Does she not? And it's just really well put together. Like, this show isn't a comedy; it's a lighthearted drama. I think this is going to be that show where you're not going to get belly laughs, but you're going to get like, that's neat, that's funny. Like, I just find this show be a light-hearted drama than a full-on comedy. And it's just really well written, this episode. And knowing, and this is the episode where we, see Abomination, and you're like, shit, he does have a case. Like, all the events that happened back in the Incredible Hulk, you're like, oh, he does have a case. He was manipulated. He was this. The government basically turned him into the Abomination, and how there was a sense of afflicted of principles over how people treated Bruce when he's Hulk, and how they treat Blonsky when he's Abomination. And you're like, shit, he has a case. And it's just well put together. And I love the family. I love Jennifer's family in this episode. And definitely the dad. The dad is like, yes, you're the Hulk. You're She-Hulk. And you have no job. But you're still family. And I know you. Right now it's a down moment. It's a lower moment. But I know that you are able to pick yourself up. And I just find this episode so well written, so well put together. I don't find many flaws in this episode. It's a tick for me, an absolute tick.